next speaker is going to cover the topic, which is how to remodel an SME business for growth and scalability. And our speaker is Mr. Rosario Baretto, Managing Director, Mentor, and Coach of BARECO. A very warm welcome to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I waited a long time to make my presentation, and I'm being the last one. I appreciate the patience being shown by all of you. So we had a great session. We've covered a lot of things in today's event. We spoke about manufacturing. We spoke about automation. We spoke about technology. One thing to note is this is all about the external factor. One thing that really matters for an SME business is something which is very internal. Something that an SME businesses fight day in, day out, and that one word is the chaos. The chaos that's built in the business. So what I'm going to talk about in the next 15 minutes is to give you certain tips on business management, especially for those SME business owners who are perpetually surviving in their business and need to move forward. So please pay attention. We're just going to take 15 minutes of our time for this presentation. So let me start with this data point. Now, I'm sure everybody has seen this, this slide and know how SME's business fail in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Now, the question is not here about scaring you all, but the question is, how do you see yourself on the other side of the scale, where you are the successful business owners who are in the 34%, the 50%, and the 70% bracket? And for that, what we need to do is look at, understand what is the business cycle, and understand how does that work. So here I would like to share with you an old Harvard Business Review study, which has been old but still very much relevant at this point of time as well. Any small business goes through 5 stages, and these stages can be divided into existence, survival, success, takeoff, and resource maturity. Now, when you look at this scale, the scale is on the x-axis, you will see the lifespan, and on the y-axis, there is the size, desperation, and the complexity. Now, there is no numbers associated to it, because every business has its own complexity and own time range. But when you look at it, every business starts off by fighting for its existence. It's those your early years, and it can go on for a very long time as well. The second phase is where you survive, you get into survival mode. And a lot of business owners that I have met are perpetually in that survival mode. The question is, how do you go to the next stage, which is the success stage? And once you have reached that success stage, how do you take off from there and start working toward the resource maturity, which is where you start corporatizing your business? Now, I would like to share this slide with you, which talks about different business management aspects which are important for business at various stages. So when you look at, so these 5 basically are the management style that you run your business with, the organization structure that you have, the extent of systems that you have in your business, the strategy, and the role of the business owner in the business. Now, when we look at the first stage, which is the existence stage, this is the stage where the business owner is doing everything. They have a minimal team member, and in terms of systems and process, there is minimal or non-existence. Now, the key strategy over here for the business owner is survival. Not rather survival, but creating an existence for them, finding those customers, and proving that the business model is workable. Any business which is in this stage is where the business and the owner are one and the same. Now, when you successfully establish your existence, you move to the survival phase. In this survival phase, even if you have people, it is still driven by you. You supervise the supervisor so that everything is done as per what you have to say. You might bring in some level of system, but your strategy is still more of the survival side. Over here, again, as you can see, the role of the business owner is still very much involved in the business. To move to the third stage of the life cycle, which is the success stage, the business needs to hit a level where you start delivering success, where you start seeing results coming in. You have now grown beyond 1 or 2 customers that is running your business. And this is where you need to take 2 decisions. One, either you decide that, okay, this is what I want to hit, this is the best that I want to do, and I will now like to disengage and maintain stability and keep the business profitable. And the second choice that you have over here is, how do you invest in the business and make the business go to the next level where you can then take off? A lot of the discussion that we had today was about that takeoff. How do you take off to the next level of growth by investing in your business? But for that to happen, you need to be first at a level where you're not at a survival mode, but you are in a success mode. Because only when you are in a success mode that you will think about going to the takeoff mode. Yeah? So this is the key aspect over here, and this is where a lot of things comes into play. Now, I would like to share a few things about how this can be done. So the whole objective of this presentation is, how can you move from the survival mode to the success mode? But before that, I just want to quickly touch upon a few aspects of business which are very critical for the success of the business. And there are 2 elements. One element is the business element, and the second element is the business owner element. So both you and your business play an important factor on how successful you would be. So from a business factor point of view, we discussed this. I think this was the main point of discussion in most part of the day, the financial resources. How are you managing your cash flow? How are you managing investment in your business? The second part, which is another point that was discussed earlier, is the people part. How do you build your team, and how do you get quality people in your team? The third is about the system. How do you create the system in your business? When I spoke about chaos, the chaos is there because there is no system. So creating the system which creates structured method, visibility in your business is the critical element of your business. And the third aspect is the business resource. You as an organization is not just you, but there is a complete ecosystem around you. So how you build your customers, how you build your partners, how you build your suppliers, how you build your service providers, those things becomes very important aspect. Now, when we look at from a business owner's perspective, the first and the most important thing is the goal alignment. As a business owner, what are your goals? And what are the goals that you have set for your company, and how they're aligned? Without that alignment, there would be a disconnect. So that's another important part of aspect which are very critical for your business success. The functional ability of the business owner. As a business owner, at the end of the day, there is a time when you do a lot of things by yourself. So as a business owner, how do you understand various functions and how do you work around it is pretty key. And that's the reason why you're here, to build those knowledge for yourself. The third part is the delegation ability. As a business owner, your willingness to delegate is the key aspect of your business growth. If you are not able to delegate responsibilities and authority, that's the reason what's holding you back. And the fourth aspect is your own strategic ability. Are you focusing on the strategic ability, the future of your business, or are you focusing on the fire that you need to douse today? Now, this 8 element that we have seen, this is not something which I have created over here. Again, this is a part of the Harvard Business Review study, which is so relevant and which I thought I should share with all of you. Now, this is a very interesting slide. If you look at all those 8 elements, and if you look at the relevance of that at the various stages of a business cycle, if you divide it between critical, important, and moderately important, in the first 2 stages, it's the owner's ability, the cash, and the goal that you've set for the business, which becomes important. But as you're moving towards your growth success stage, it's everything else that becomes more important. It is no longer about you as a business owner, but it is all about how you're setting the structures and processes in the business. So it's a quick slide on why do business fail. So how do you know that your business is struggling? Now, if you are facing any of the situation in your company, that means you are facing one or the other challenges in your business. Either the system is not in place, or whatever. Okay, so if you're running all around chaos, there's a complete dependency of the business on you. You're finding difficult to find and retain your employees. There are customer complaints, there are business running on handbook line, then yes, there is a problem. So how do we solve this problem? To solve this problem, you need to have a business management structure. And I would like to introduce to you a business management structure that we have built in BARECO, which we call it as business foundation and management model. So with this model, we look at basically creating purpose, creating structure in your business, building predictability in your business, and creating accountability of key aspect of how you manage your people. I'm just rushing this up a bit because I see the time is of essence over here, so please bear with me. If we need to discuss it, we can always discuss it offline. So quickly, what is this BFM model? So the BFM model has three elements: the foundation, the organization, and the management aspect to it. The foundation is basically the key part of your business management strategy, which in a human analogy, I call it as a heart. You need to have a heart in your business. If there is no heart, that's something that really hits you. That you need a heart so that there's a gel which could actually connect everybody in the organization. The second aspect, which is the organization bit, is to have a strong body, a body which can run and is healthy enough to take the business forward. And the third aspect is you have your heart, you have your body, but you need to have you need to give the right exercise to your body for you to be able to get the best results out of it. So by doing so, you will then be able to bring in the purpose, the structure, the predictability, the accountability that you want to see in your business. So I'm going to quickly run you through each of this element and what are the key aspects of it. Some of these things you will know. Everybody knows. It's not that something I'm going to show something new over here, but the question that you might want to ask is, how much of that is currently actually running in your business? So the key aspects over here, when you talk about the foundation, there are 6 key elements: values, vision, mission, the goals that you've set in your business, and what's your go-to-market on your niche. So the first 3 part, which is the value, vision, and mission, when you talk about values, everybody understands values, but why is values important? Values is important on one very simple thing. You as an individual, you like to work with people with whom you can connect. Who do you connect with? You connect with people where you share those values. Similarly, think about it. If you start hiring people on values, you will have a set of people in their organization who would be able to gel together. And that's why value is so important. And now I'm not talking at a corporate level. I'm talking about an SME. And this can be done at an SME level. You need to have a mission in your, you need to have a vision in your business. A lot of SME businesses, owners I speak to, have no vision. They're there to just run the business. But that's not going to take you very far. I mean, there is a classic vision of Microsoft, where in 1980 they had a vision when they started the company saying they want to put computer in every home. And that's exactly what they have done. When you build that kind of vision, you create a purpose about what you want to do. And once you have that vision, then you work on your mission, on how you're going to go about it and set things up. Now, the reason why these 3 things are very important is because these 3 things become the driving factor not just for you, but for your entire organization. People then stop not coming not for the 9-to-5 job, but they come to do work which is worthwhile. And that's what you need to create as a foundation. The other thing is on the goals. A lot of SME businesses may not have a long-term goal or a mid-term goal, forget about even short-term goal. But you need to have those goals set. Okay? You need to set a goal which is primarily your end game. And then basis on that, you work backward toward what is your mid-term goal and your short-term goal. Because your short-term goal, what you're doing today, should justify your long-term goal. If you are sitting over here today, there needs to be a goal associated with it, which is your long-term goal, which is the reason why you're sitting here, you're listening to this presentation, and not wasting your own time. And that's why the goal is so important. The last thing on this part is your niche. I'll quickly say this. As an SME business owner, you should not try to be everything for everybody. Yeah, and that's where a SME business fails. Because then you're not able to differentiate yourself, then you're not able to create the value that you could bring by putting that focus. I could go a bit on this, but my time's up, so I need to rush on this, so my apologies for it. The third part, which is the organization part, is the three pillars to it. The first pillar is the design pillar. For whatever goal that you have set for yourself, you need to then go and build an organization around it. Because without having that organization, you will never be able to make that goal, or you'll never be able to build the technology or the future. And the key aspect over here is you need to have those three functions: sales, finance, and operations. A lot of time I've seen the business owner themselves are sales, themselves are operation, themselves are finance. When you're running a business, you can't be doing that. If you want to move from the survival mode to the success mode, you need to find ways to delegate and build the right structure. If you don't have sales, you will not be able to bring in new business. If you don't have operation, you will not be able to keep a happy customer. And the last thing is on this is you need to have someone who is a visionary. Ask yourself in your business, who is thinking of the future? Who is running the business today, and who is thinking of the future? The second part is the accountability part, and this is where, again, I would like to say that in a lot of SME businesses, I've seen that everybody is doing everything. Everybody is selling, everybody is talking to customer, everybody is doing operation. And a simple thing to remember over here is when everybody is doing everything, nobody is responsible for anything. Yeah? So you need to build, so for you to build an accountability, you need to have one position, one person, define the roles and responsibility very clearly, and give a number to every position. And the most important thing over here is you need to have a right person in the right position. Now, I've been asked this question again and again that it's very difficult to find people. So how do I get those right person in a right seat? I'll give you an example. Dr. Velumani, Thyrocare, sold off his company for 2,000 crore, has 4,000 people. And for all those 4,000 people, this was their first job. Yeah, so how do you get the right person in the right seat? Is by setting up your processes. You are business owners who are 10 years, 20 years, 30 years running the business. You know the processes inside out, but have you documented it? Have you created a structure in your organization which you can then give to your people and say, this is how you need to run the business? And when you do this, this is when you are actually becoming a scalable business. And when you have those processes documented, this is when you would be actually be able to take an average type of person and get the best result come from that person because you've given him a process to run, and he learns from it. So quickly, my last part of this model is on the management. And the first part over here is on planning. I'd like to ask you, are you running your business by default or by design? You need to have planning in your business. You need to know, your team need to know where you're going, and you need to identify your rocks. Rocks as a concept is something which is the most important thing. So you should be spending your time on the rocks and not just on anything and just get into the day and do what comes your way. The second part is data. Yeah? And again, here I would like to quote, it was quoted by a CEO of the IBM, "In God we trust, all others bring data." Manage your business by data. Build your scorecard. Create your KPI, and then run your business. Take a 30,000-foot view of your business, and then run your business, because you are a business owner who needs to take the business forward, and you cannot do that by being day in, day out. How do you do that? You need to work on the KPI and the scorecards on that. And the last part on the management is the meetings. You need to have meeting. Meeting is not just for the corporate. Meeting is for every organization. And the whole purpose of meeting is to empower your people. Give them a platform where they can come and share the problem, and you can help them with that problem. And that's how meeting helps. Again, there is a way how you can make a 10-on-10 meeting that can be discussed separately. So the key part is by using this kind of a BFM model, and again, as I said, this is not something which I've invented. This is a very standard thing. I've put that in a structure which can make sense for SME businesses. You can move from, oh, this is moving pretty fast. You can, sorry about that, you can move from a complete chaos where everybody is growing everywhere to a very focused approach towards your business. Now, people may ask, why do we need a business management consultant? And my simple answer to that is, you may have everything that you have. You may have all the resources and information. But if you don't know how to use them, it is of no use. And this is where a business management consultant like me come in. We are the subject matter experts. We bring in the expertise and the tools to you. We bring in the outside-in view, and we work with you as your accountability partner. That's my background. I've worked in logistics industries for 25 years with big brands. I've been a CEO of a company for 2 years, and I'm a certified coach and a consultant. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen and ladies.
I think you should be an opening batsman. The next program, I will invite you to speak in the morning only, because coach is very important for every business. You can transform the business. You can support for a better performance, and this is a need of our other. Because I am the founder of SME Coach, that's why. And I know what is the importance of the coach. So thank you very much. Let me thank again